In my search for the worst action figure line ever, I've told you about Revolutionary War action figures. You know, Paul Revere, George Washington, Adolf Hitler. And then I found an action figure line based on the teen pop group New Kids on the Block. And now my search has brought me to something else. First, war figures, teen pop figures, and now action figures based on blue jeans. Can you believe it? In 1983, toy company Earl, and you're probably going to tell me it's not Earl, you're probably going to say I'm saying it wrong. Maybe it's Earl, I'm not sure. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, this toy company released action figures based on Wranglers. That's right, the jean company. Your mom probably bought you bootcut bell-bottom Wrangler jeans at the local Kmart, but you probably didn't even remember there was action figures. Now, if these came with blue jeans, I would let it pass. If you bought a pair of Wrangler action figures and it came with a free action figure, okay, that's goofy, but hey, you kind of get it. Kids hate to go shopping for clothes, and when your mom drags you to Kmart because there's a blue light special on Wrangler jeans, you get a free action figure. I would let that pass. But no, this is a separate line. And not only do they do small scale action figures, there's a doll line of action figures also. Large size action figures. They're dolls. Anything 12-inch that has cloth clothes, I call it a doll. It's just a fancy word for a Barbie figure. Girls play with dolls. Boys just want to call them action figures. Large size. So we got Wrangler action figures. Now, this one I was debating if I should put this in the series of worst action figure line. Because, be honest, I don't think they're that bad of a figure wise. I mean, they're just basically cowboy action figures. But the whole Wranglers naming an action figure line out of blue jeans, I'm going to have to rank it as one of the worst action figures. Is it worse than the last one we looked at, the New Kids on the Block action figures? Well, at least with that one, although they probably wasn't aimed toward boys, they were more aimed toward 14-year-old girls that like Backstreet Boys, not Backstreet Boys, New Kids on the Block, same thing. You can kind of see where it might be fun for a kid that was into New Kids on the Block. Don't worry, there's probably some kids into them also. Where they had the stage and you had them dancing around and singing, and maybe had some misadventures going on backstage with a groupie or something. And Revolution War figures. I don't know who would want to play with them. I think them might be worse than New Kids on the Block. But you can see where those might look cool if you're really into history, setting them up and everything. But Wrangler action figures based on blue jeans. I mean, sure, if they did an action figure line on Gap or Lee or Oshkosh Bagosh, you might say, okay, that's kind of cool. But Wranglers? The only thing downstream from a Wrangler blue jeans is wearing rustlers. And believe me, I wore rustlers. What are rustlers? Well, I think they're actually made by the same people that made Wranglers, but they were kind of cheaper brand. Wranglers were high class. They were sold at Kmart, and rustlers were probably sold at Zayre's. But let's look at these action figures, and I'll let you decide, does it fit into the worst action figure line category? Again, I don't think the figures are that bad, but just the overall theme of action figures based on blue jeans has got me. So let's pull up the first one here. It's the Cattleman Cody action figure. Comes with a canteen, a fire pit, and some kind of stick. Maybe it's those hot poker things they use on cows. But here it is, a Wrangler action figure. Now I know I'm gonna get in trouble. I don't know how to say this without getting in trouble. I won't say it. I'll let somebody else say it.
Ha! Gay!
I mean, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying, right? You know what I'm saying? I mean, these are like the Brokeback Mountain action figure line. I mean, Cody. Cody, come on. So we look at Cattleman Cody. I bet he thinks 8 seconds is a long ride. Let's look at another one. And here's Luke. He loves to bust some Broncos because he's Luke, the Bronco Buster. And he comes with a saddle, although he doesn't come with a horse. He just comes with a saddle. And he comes with a yellow vest, letting everyone know that he's number one. I should have saved my 8-second joke for this one because he looks like a rodeo rider. Okay. There was more than just gay action figures. There's more than just men action figures in this line. There's a female also. It's Misty. I don't know why they put it in quotes. Probably some sexual term they had for something she did behind the barn, so they all call her Misty. But anyway, here's the action figure. She, like the others, have movable arms and legs. She comes with a guitar that's all one color, brown. And she comes with a vest. And you know what they say about a woman that wears a vest. Again, not saying anything bad about it. I'm just saying what it is. Let's see who's next. We have Bert Reynolds. We have the Wrangler. His eyes are cold and restless. His wounds, they've almost healed. I bet his girlfriend would give half of Texas just to change the way he feels. Because she knows that his love's in Tulsa, and she knows he's gonna have to go. It ain't no woman that he's in love with. It's that damn old rodeo. The leader of the Wrangler action figures, the Wrangler himself. And this one comes with this little mutated looking dog wolf thing. I'm not really sure either. Out of the line, that's probably the coolest looking one. Now you're probably saying, Junkman, why didn't you show us the back of the card? Because it's not worth showing. It's just a brown piece of cardboard. How generic can you get? And these figures look like they would break easy. I'm sure they would snap apart after a few hours of playing with your blue jean action figures. But that's a look at the small line of action figures from the Wrangler action figure line. But they did dolls too. 2 different ones. Let's look at them again. Here's Missy. She comes with a removable cowboy hat. Oh, wait a minute. I want to be PC. Here's Missy. She comes with a removable cowperson hat. So there's Missy, and we have to have a boy for Missy to play with because, she loves men and men love her. Here's the Wrangler himself. The Wrangler figure, and he also comes with a removable cowperson hat. Now they had a few sets that the action figures could play along with. There's at least 3 different ones. At first I thought there was just one, and then when searching this video I found 2 more. So it might be more out there that I don't know about. And this one's using a celebrity. That's right, a celebrity got in on the act. Dale Earnhardt. Now if you don't know, he's a NASCAR guy. Because I've heard his name. But that's about all I know about him. I think maybe he has a mustache, but I'm not really sure. And I know he's not Tom Petty because Tom Petty is the only other NASCAR driver I know. Wait a minute. Richard Petty, sorry. Tom Petty's that guy from the Eagles. Sorry about that. So let's look at the race set. Here's the Dale Earnhardt racing team. And I don't believe this figure is of Dale Earnhardt. It would make sense if it was, but I think it's a mechanic. But then again, I don't know what Dale Earnhardt looks like. I do know there's a Dale Earnhardt Jr., which I'm guessing is his son, but I don't know what he looks like either. Anyway, this set comes with an 18-wheeler and a plastic race car that you could put on top of the 18-wheeler or just play with it yourself. It looks like it comes with some tools, tires, car parts, and more. Now let's look at the other set. And these figures, I guess, aren't really that bad. These sets look like they have some play value, especially for a kid in the early 80s that were into rodeos and cowboys and clowns and barrels, and wearing, of course, Wrangler jeans. But this is 1983. Kids were playing with Star Wars figures and He-Man figures. Can you imagine if the kid next door had Wrangler action figures? Let's finish up these sets. And here's the set for the ranch. As you can see, it comes with a cow. And although I can't see it, I really hope it comes with some plastic cow shit. It's the bulls and the blood, the dust and the mud, the sounds of a roaring Sunday crowd. Let's take a look at the rodeo action figure set. The rodeo set comes with a bull and a bunch of barrels. I wish it came with a clown action figure, but sadly it doesn't. Oh, the ropes, the reins, the joys, and the pain. This is what I call a rodeo set. We saw boots, we saw chaps, we saw cowboy hats, we saw spurs, we saw let-it-goes. We had it all in this action figure line to Wrangler. I started off thinking this was going to be the worst action figure line ever. It was going to beat out Kids in the Hall. Kids in the Hall. Now, I would love Kids in the Hall action figures. I thought this was going to beat out New Kids on the Block action figures. I thought it was going to be worse than Revolutionary War figures. But the more I look at these, I dig them. Just like I'm a honeycomb. But I'll be honest, it's stupid. It might not be the worst action figure line when it comes to play value. Although, again, in 1983, I can't imagine kids wanting this line when they had so much other cool stuff to beg for at the store. But it's not an overall bad looking line, but I bet it's cheap and breaks real easy. The problem with this line here is it's based on blue jeans. I've said it once, I said it again, and I'll say it now. It's based on blue jeans. An action figure line based on blue jeans. Think about that just for a second. Think about it. I mean, I've seen action figures based on movies. I once saw an action figure line based on a television show. Hell, I saw action figures based on food. I saw action figures based on monsters. I've seen action figures based on socks. I've seen action figures based on everything. But this is based on blue jeans. What's next? An action figure line based on Sunday shoes? Anyway, let me know in the comments below what you think. Did you even know about this line? Did you have it as a kid? Did you love it? Maybe you were one of those kids that just loved your wrestling. I keep saying wrestling. Maybe you were one of those kids that just loved your Wrangler action figure line. Action figures based on blue jeans. We might find action figures that are worse than these, but I don't think we're gonna find an action figure line that has the worst concept. This has to be the worst concept. I just can't imagine the board meeting over at Earl, however you say it, sitting around and probably somebody, a sales representative for the Wrangler company came walking in and said, I got something for you boys. Our sales are skyrocketing and kids love to wear our jeans and they love to play with action figures. So I don't know, maybe they hope it'd be a hit. Maybe the next thing since, hey, you got your chocolate in my peanut butter, you got your peanut butter in my chocolate. Maybe they thought this was going to be the next wave. You know, they start making all kinds of action figures based on clothes. It's crazy. Good thing it wasn't hit. We may have gotten Bugle Boy action figures. Anyway, let me know in the comments below. Is it a bad action figure line? Or is it just a bad concept for an action figure line? Or maybe you love them both. Well, until the next video, thumb up so I know you like my content, subscribe to the channel, and we'll talk again.
Junkman. Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.